so I'm just going to go live early. I just think so. What's it going on, everybody? How you doing? Good morning. How are you? So nice to have you here. I'm Hal Sparks, and this is our new morning stream, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I've been fooling around with the time. I think, honestly, I think I have to go straight up 9 a.m. because I forgot, because I don't normally work at this hour, that Steph's on till 9 o'clock my time. So it would be a bit of a rude overlap to kind of, come in and sort of nearly bogart the last half hour or divert people or make people choose. So why I don't have to. So I waited till they were all clear, and there you go. And it should, YouTube should be up. Everybody should be up except for Instagram Live, which I will get. Let's see. I will get up and running just for the kits and shiggles of it, because there's some kids hanging out. We're just hanging out, and this is I think a good opportunity to look at morning trends as we when you get up and you try not to, but you check your phone. You get up there and you're like, I shouldn't look at it. It'd be a mistake. But I'm sorry, I'm copying a link right now so that I can share it to Instagram. And there we go. Oops, get shareable link. There you go. And then, and you shouldn't look at what's trending, because all you'll do is wake up and you'll start getting mad. And that's not right. By the way, welcome everybody on Instagram who's probably just joining us, or is just kind of joining us, or will be joining us in a couple of seconds. And so anyways, you can tell it's one of those mornings. Let's go over them, shall we? We'll just go through our morning trends today on the Hal Sparks Morning Trend Show. This is what showed up. Now, your trends may be different than mine because of the stuff that I look at. And interestingly enough, the stuff that I look at is a mixture of stuff that I like and support and that I deal with all the time, and stuff that's in my trends when I wake up that I think is god-awful because of the work that I do. I tend to look at a lot of god-awful over the course of a day. When it comes to news, politics, and that kind of stuff, by the way, we're having iced coffee this morning. You didn't get a notification. This is new. I don't know if Facebook even supports this that I'm on right now. They may be against it ultimately. But this is my Twitter trends. We'll look at other trends as well. But these are the ones that popped right up. The first one, of course, Bo Bergdahl. Bo Bergdahl is the guy that Obama traded four Taliban fighters for in exchange to get him back. And the big story from the Daily Mail Online, who, British paper, still pissed we left. Again, to our friends in the United Kingdom, you have tens of thousands of soldiers, airplanes, helicopters, tanks. You have a functioning military. It only took 2,500 of our men and women putting their lives on the line every goddamn day, and about $140 million a day minimum to hold Afghanistan. There is nothing stopping you, United Kingdom. England, I mean, hey, you used to have control of us. See how well that worked out? So I would recommend to our dear friends across the pond that if they're very upset about America leaving, they should attack Afghanistan and seize the territory. I think they could do it. They probably need about 100,000 soldiers to start the process, but they can wheedle it down to about 3,000 to 5,000 within about 7 years, bounce it back up to 15,000, back down to 8, maybe go to as many as 20 for a surge, and then go down to 2,500 and just stay there forever and ever and ever. Nothing is stopping you, UK, from doing that. Nothing at all. You have plenty of people, and you're in all seriousness. The SAS, your soldiers, you absolutely have the military capability. Now, you'll have to kill, obviously, tens of thousands of citizens. But, it's worth the price. Don't you think? They're so mad at us for leaving. 4 Taliban leaders that Obama freed in prisoner exchange are named as top commanders in Afghan's new Taliban government. By the way, If these are the guys, we were willing to give these guys back. We were like, yeah, you can have these guys. You can have yeah. We're not worried about these guys. It's not exactly a brain trust. We know we had a hold of them. We know everything we need to know about them. They're not the next Osama bin Laden here. We're going to get our American back, even if we're not, fans of why he left, right? By the way, the Post, 4 Taliban members swapped for Bo Bergdahl, now in Afghan government. Yeah, they've got a new dog catcher, new sewage treatment plant. I guess technically deputy minister of sewage treatment. This is their executive chairperson of their council on side-eye. And this is captain of the I Forgot My Line group. And we all traded them for this guy, which apparently New York Post doesn't think is worth it. Also, and this is a big, a lot of people aren't, recognizing that. Let's see if this picture's up. Yeah, that's Pompeo. Here's all the guys. They keep showing the one picture, right? These two guys. You keep saying, oh, I met with one of them. It wasn't a big deal. When in actuality, yeah. So in terms of, and of course, Trump getting the 5,000 prisoners out of jail, like that's obviously the parallel a lot of people are making. This one I enjoyed. Bo Bergdahl, because of with Republican math, 4 is greater than 5,000. That's the trending graphic that works. So that's obviously going to be a talking point today. We'll keep an eye out for that, you guys. It is Star Trek Day. Excellent. So probably William Shatner doesn't want to hear this, but he's going to. You are my captain. You'll always be my captain. I mean, William Shatner, greatest Star Trek captain. I'm sorry. I love Jean-Luc Picard. I really, really do. His greatness comes in all the other stuff. He will always be my Charles Xavier. Still can't do the Vulcan hand symbol? No? It's pretty cool. I'm glad they didn't go with this. The original Zoltan symbol was this. But so many people couldn't do that. I was trying to like a Z like that. It was too much. So I just made it this. Made it way easier. But happy Star Trek Day. They don't have a May the 4th, so it'll always be V-Day, I guess. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh Lord. Best Star Trek captain is Captain Kirk. Okay, here we go. The View. Why is The View trending? We'll be preaching the word in the segment on abortion. I see. So they're talking about the Texas abortion law, you think? We just had 3 Democrats and independent and Republicans discuss their view of abortion, went to commercial with a smile. There's a God somewhere. My biggest anti-vaxxer coworkers all have had COVID, yet all of us that have been vaccinated haven't. There you go. And so they're talking about that as well. Lots of graphics on this one. A lot of response. So people are live tweeting The View. Is this a thing? Yeah. And I think we can get an idea of who the audience is for The View. From what they are choosing. And this is this the first time back without Meghan McCain? Yeah. I don't know, but there's lots of dancing, oh, here we go. They're back, America. Welcome to season 25 of The View. There they come. Fantastic. I once co-hosted The View. Long story. Let's see. And I didn't even have this hair. The women look incredible. They are also from their morning space table. I don't quite get the whole this. We talked about this a little when we discussed the British show, these morning shows where they need to look like they're all designed to look like they're from a space station or some sort of like coked out loft in 1985. That's right, View ladies. I'm calling you out. This is ridiculous. What is this? What is this supposed to be? It looks like one of those big plastic things you put under a pizza so you can cut it on your counter that's just been laid on a block and therefore is draping over the other sides. The stools are an odd choice. There's nowhere to put anything. They still need paper. They don't have installed screens in their desks, which they could look at. Or, hey, what a concept. Those little teleprompter things that they use for speeches that you can see through? Why not put some of those just outside viewing range so that they don't have to look all the way up, way over, or put on their glasses to look at a teleprompter the size of a television set for the news that they want with a little scrolling thing, and they each have one so they can look at what they're looking at unless they want to keep it private from each other. I'm not being a hater. I'm being divisive and critical. I mean, I'm in my basement. What do you want? I'm literally in. I think the aesthetic of my show is basically the basement cell that Jean-Claude Van Damme was in The Quest, which is a great place to work out, by the way, if you're going to do that. There we go. So, and then evil demonic McCain. I love Biden's America. Be best, evil spirits. This is a picture of Kamala Harris, Dr. Jill Biden, and Michelle Obama saging the White House, all right, the Oval Office. Here they are on the roof. I'm not quite sure why. This is totally green screen. I don't buy it for 1 second. And this is what happens. People live stream the view on their dresser. This looks like a dressing room where people don't live. I don't buy this somehow. Yeah. And then she's live tweeting clips. That's her thing. Shantizi, that's what she does in the morning, apparently. So Sarah Haynes is going to be their standard run-of-the-mill blonde, I guess. Sonny and Whoopi, when Sarah said we should have stayed in Afghanistan. Yeah, that's going to be the thing. Our trends shifted just from going back. Jessica Chastain responds to viral red carpet moment with Oscar Isaac. Oh, they touched each other? I don't care. Oh, my God. Tom Cotton is trending. Did he go across a covered bridge and while being chased by a pumpkin-headed evil spirit? I'm looking forward to Tony Fauci's next appearance in front of the United States Senate. His following trip should be to the federal courthouse down the street. Is apparently very worried about leaving allies behind. Is not concerned that Afghan refugees fleeing for their lives won't accept their way of life in terms of the Constitution. Yeah, that. By the way, Tom Cotton is the dude you are looking for if you want a, the prime example of a Republican who's like, we got to get the Afghans out. We got to keep the Afghans out. That's what it is. This is a switch over. We got to get the Afghans out of Afghanistan. We got to keep the Afghans out of America. Like, that's it. That's the whole deal.
Security risk, whether or not they accept our way of life here in terms of constitutional government and the equality of all citizens, or if they are even in violation of U.S. laws against trafficking. I mean, we've heard reports from Fort McCoy in Wisconsin, for instance, of grown men showing up with children as their so-called brides, or polygamous marriages as well. We have no sources on the ground in Afghanistan anymore. They can run a...
Yes, good. Does he know we don't have sources on the ground in every country with terrorists in it? It's like it is and especially right now, saying we don't have sources on the ground is saying we don't have firemen in the middle of the fires in Northern California. Same shit. Okay, yes, I think right out of the gate he deserves 5 eggs. That's right. It's early in the morning,
Eat 2 eggs a day.
I feel like I don't know if we have fresh eggs. At some point, when we do 5 eggs, I should drink 5 eggs out of a glass. That on the morning show. We'll do that Friday. I don't know that I'm prepped right now to do that. I will do it. I will drink out Rocky style. But you guys will try to get me to do it right away.
5 eggs.
That's right. Tom Cotton gets 5 eggs. He looks like if like a dad in an old like 1960s Disney movie turned evil.
Supposed name.
It's like if he looks like if the dad in 101 Dalmatians left his wife for Cruella de Vil.
And maybe some fingerprints through our incomplete databases. And if it doesn't come back with a hit, they say, well, you must be good to go. Well, we have no idea who these people are, whether or not they pose a security risk, whether or not
I don't know why why their 8-year-old children and their wives don't show up in our incomplete database.
accept our way of life here in terms of constitution.
Well, if you don't accept our way of life here, that would entail you either dealing with it. I don't accept it, but I'm going to live within the law, which is what most people do. Excuse me. But then also, if you don't accept our way of life and you act outside of that, you're going to jail. We have people that do that all the fucking time.
Government and the equality of all citizens, or
I'm sorry. The equality of all citizens. Has Tom Cotton ever been to Texas? Has he been lately? All right.
They are even in violation of U.S. laws against trafficking. I mean, we've heard reports from Fort McCoy in Wisconsin, for instance, of grown men showing up with children as their so-called brides.
Wait a minute. Matt Gaetz is touring again? I had no idea Matt Gaetz had. Did they have a rally in Wisconsin? Did Marjorie Traylor Greene bring her sex guru with her?
Polygamous marriages as well. We have sources on the ground.
Yeah, and if you're going to have polygamous marriages, don't send them to Wisconsin. Utah. All right. Let's see. Senator Tom Cotton, Newsmax, accused President Biden of wanting to, quote, turn the page on Afghanistan and get it out of the news so the administration could focus on another reckless Democrat endeavor. By the way, this is the complaint you're also going to hear. This is the tough part for them. And why would that be, Hal, you're asking? That's because it is fading, because the page is turning, because they recognize that people wanted to get out of Afghanistan. The majority of Republicans wanted Trump to get out of Afghanistan. They knew it would be a mess. That's why he didn't do it. They know now that's why he didn't do it. It's absurd. They're worried is that they're gathering all their stuff. All right, it's Benghazi 2.0. Let's get this going. This is going to be sweet. What do you mean nobody's talking about it anymore? Infrastructure. Our people like infrastructure. We're never going to win that. Is it Marjorie Traylor Greene? Trailer Queen. I beg your pardon. This is why they're pissed. They're going to turn the page. The nation already has to infrastructure, and you can't demonize people on infrastructure the way they want to. So, yeah, this is the clip making the rounds. Yeah, same clip over and over again. Trevor noticed, it's racially divisive. Slavery. As we're on Republicans' opposition to 1619 education project, Trump's flailing poll number. Sorry. That just got a bump because Tom Cotton made the news. I guess that's the upside of when an asshole trends, is that everybody's jokes about those folks end up bringing your jokes back to the top. Matt Walsh jumped to the top of our trending thing while this was happening. This is Bo Bergdahl and Matt Walsh are trending. Perhaps I should take a break from the entirety of the Days of Awe. I think Rachel Vindman just tweeted that. Anyways. Yes, I said I don't like female analysts and reporters in football. No, I don't care if that upsets you. No, I don't apologize. Yes, I think women are feminizing traditionally men's spaces. Yes, I think that's bad. Yes, I'm right. No, your whining doesn't change any of this. What? Did he just figure out that there are women analysts and reporters in football? Does he also realize nobody cares? Theocratic fascist philanthropist, aspiring cult leader, followed by the Democratic coalition. I guess they're keeping an eye on him. As I said in my show, the same sort of thing is happening to women. Women are having their space invaded by men as well. But of course, we aren't supposed to complain about it either because the culprits are trans people in their case. Well, they wouldn't be, actually. I've always been of the belief that people, when they talk about, especially when the right wing talks about this, when they talk about trans people, like men pretending to be women or biological men who aren't really trans, just using it as an excuse to compete in women's sports, then that really isn't a complaint about trans people at all. It doesn't have anything to do with trans people. It has more to do with their idea of what men are like. That men somehow in their minds would do this. And that means they would do this because we all project our morals outward. I don't know any men in my life at all that would pretend to be trans so they could win a trophy. But if you don't think there are a bunch of Trump supporters who are complaining about participation trophies, but would do this just to own the libs, please. Same thing with women's bathrooms. They're always complaining they're biological men in women's bathrooms. Well, those aren't trans men that you're worried about. Those are straight men using gray areas in the law to sneak into the ladies' room. And that's a violation of the law. Fix it. I don't know why this is a thing. Are you sure you want to nuke this tweet? Again, all you have to do is say something garbage and you will get a huge lift. I mean, what have we seen trend this morning? Matt Walsh, Tom Cotton. There's cute things like when they say trending in actors, are they gray like that? Abbott must go, right? This is all about the hideousness of what it takes to trend. And if it doesn't, it's okay. There's a movie coming out or something, there's some stands making videos about experience the be all end all movie event of the year starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep. It's a story of, Leonardo DiCaprio having appendicitis. Is this a Netflix movie about climate change? Oh, it's a world-ending movie. Okay. It's a spoof of world-ending movies. I see. So he's playing the Jeff Goldblum character. Don't Look Up. Gotcha. All right. Adorable. Okay. And then, of course, everybody's standing on pictures of Jennifer Lawrence. Gotcha. All right. So some stuff trends that way. Because, by the way, in case you don't know, Netflix and other studios pay to get those trends started. In some cases, they do a promoted tweet, which you will see regularly. It says promoted because they have to say it. And then in other ways, they'll just get server farms full of fake accounts to start boosting stuff. And then the real fans will notice it's trending in their area, and then that will get it going. It's kind of it's not a full-on fake trending scheme. It's just an igniter. Yes, there's a lot of bangs in the Jennifer Lawrence pictures. And then Jessica Chastain, and then, of course, hashtag Abbott must go, which isn't going to happen. It's Texas after all. But there's, this is great. I knew there was a precedent somewhere, how the case of one bar's liquor license could bring down the new Texas abortion ban. Yeah, this is what I was saying. There are so many areas where you can turn people in. In terms of the Texas snitch laws, And then, of course, this is, somebody asked why this was up a couple days ago. Why force a rape or incest victim to carry pregnancy to term? And his response was
least
hold on,
6.
Hold on.
Quoting the Heartbeat film, why force a rape or incest victim to carry a pregnancy to term?
It doesn't require that at all because obviously it provides at least 6 weeks for a person to be.
No, it provides only 6 weeks. So in Greg Abbott's case, all he would have to do is, have somebody in his family rape one of his daughters or granddaughters and keep her in a fucking basement till it's 6.5 weeks. And then they could start arguing about how they split custody.
To get an abortion.
By the way, that before anyone clips that and says I'm wishing that on anyone, I'm not. I'm showing the horridness of their logic.
One, it doesn't provide that. That said, however, let's make something very clear. Rape is a crime, and Texas will work tirelessly to make sure that we eliminate all rapists from the streets of Texas by aggressively going out and arresting them and prosecuting them and getting them off the streets.
Yeah, get them off the streets where they can go to jail for 6 years, and then when they get out, they can start fighting for custody of the kid with multiple women. Because if they just go on a spree and the women don't have access to abortion, or they're in an area where they didn't have health care or whatever, they can't afford RU486, or somebody stops them from getting it, or they're in some sort of religious cult, and that's the dude who actually rapes them, kind of Waco style. We'll get all the rapists. You do realize no one is a rapist before they rape, right? Technically, as far as the law is concerned, they might be kind of rapey, but they sure as hell aren't legally responsible for any action they haven't taken. So you're already behind. Yeah. So gross. How fans predicted Kylie Jenner's pregnancy months ago using her nail polish. Dear God, we are praying for an asteroid. No, just kidding. Happy Star Trek Day, everybody. The new king of reggae is Usain Bolt. Oh, dear Lord. All right, and of course, this is the main story that's coming up. Recovery efforts from Ida's destruction continue while Hurricane Larry churns over the Atlantic. Larry, get off of me. Hurricane Lawrence? No, we're just going with Larry. We've already had a Lawrence. Shouldn't they call it Lawrence? I agree. Well, they're very familiar with it. They're on a nickname basis. That's a tip from your Uncle Lair. Louisiana health officials are revoking the license of 7 nursing homes that were evacuated to a warehouse where residents died after Hurricane Ida amid conditions deemed squalid and unsafe. Yikes. And of course, the Weather Channel just is giddy to be talking about this. Biden blames storm damage in Northeast on climate change, calls on Congress to pass infrastructure bill. Yeah, but by the way, this is horror on the right now, that anyone is aligning this with climate change, because they're afraid that people will go, oh shit, yeah, this is worse. And it's all the way across. Thanks. Thank you very much for noticing, Dry Wit Geek. They're very concerned that people might actually wake up to the fact that we are having an impact on the climate and that we might want to improve what we're doing. And by the way, again, I've mentioned this a bunch of times. There's a bunch of these folks, especially at Fox News, who absolutely know that climate change is a real concern and that humans play a part in it. No question. But that's not where the money is, and their viewers will turn off if you suggest it. So not only can they not deal with the fact that we are pumping, carbon dioxide and methane and chlorofluorocarbons into the atmosphere at an alarming rate that are causing greenhouse effects on the planet, that are warming it up and making storms more intense and the like. Not only can you not bring that up, you can't also bring up the fact that there's flooding at all, that that sea rise and drought and those kind of things and fires are happening with more frequency. You can't even talk about that fact and move towns or put up, have the Army Corps of Engineers, shore up dams and the like to deal with the change, because they are so committed to man is not responsible for the change that they can't even admit there is change happening. And without even copping to the reason, they can't even talk about it as if it's an actual thing, which means they certainly on a legislative level can't start dealing with it. They can't start dealing with rising waters or shoring up foundations of buildings or any of that shit. They just have to pretend it's not happening. Yeah. Anal ostriches, we call them. And this is, we've seen this a bunch. Newsmax is all in on this. Oil climbs on slow return of U.S. supply after Hurricane Ida. There's a little bit of money. Carnival Cruise Line says one of its ships will dock in New Orleans to house crews working on Hurricane Ida response. Yeah, there's a lot of free giant cruise ships sitting out there in the water, not doing a whole hell of a lot right now. Criticized Fauci, nicknamed Dr. Falsey, is in the hospital. Oh, okay. Well, then along with that. Florida, Fred Lowry. No relation to Mike Lowry. King Dingaling, a councilman for Florida's Volusia County, who often criticized Dr. Anthony Fauci, who he nicknamed Dr. Falsey, which is a boob reference and is weird, little creepy, is in the hospital with a severe case of COVID-19. Bunch of that going around. Here's Biden's statement on this. We are living through it now. We don't have more time. President Joe Biden said Tuesday while touring areas devastated by the catastrophic effects of Hurricane Ida.
I hope no one, I've been on the telephone or on the road an awful lot between California, Idaho, New Orleans, not New Orleans, Louisiana, but in New Orleans, Mississippi, and, here. I mean, every part of the country is getting hit by extreme weather. And we're now living in real time what the country's going to look like. And if we don't do something, we can't turn it back very much, but we can prevent it from getting worse.
There you go. And by the way, we can turn it back, but it will require carbon reclamation. Let's see. Let's see if I can find some stuff since we all need a little good news this morning. And hi, chat room. Welcome. Good morning. How you doing? Just glad to hang with you just in the morning. A little bit of getting the morning trends kicked in the butt. Hold on one second. Let's see. Go in here. Carbon reclamation technology. Whoops. Mm-hmm. There you go. This is carbon capture technology has been around for decades. Here's why it hasn't taken off. This is from January 2021. While trees and other plants can remove some carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, most climate change experts agree we can't plan enough fast enough to do the job alone. Although we could be doing a whole hell of a lot more. Hi, G. Clayton. We absolutely could. We could be planting a shit ton of trees, folks. It will always help. Carbon capture technology has been around for decades and is used to strip carbon out of factory emissions as well as remove carbon that's already in the air. But it's expensive until the cost of releasing carbon in the air rises. There's little economic incentive to use it. Now, that's where you're talking about a carbon tax. Is that you have to... thanks very much. This is from the Southern Shakespeare Festival where I played Malvolio in 12th Night just recently. And I look forward to doing more Shakespeare in the future. It's a good time. Elon Musk is going to pay $100 million towards a prize to come up with the best carbon capture technology, or so he tweets. The Maverick tech CEO's promise is not particularly notable for its generosity with a net worth of over $200 billion. $100 million is 0.5. I don't know why that seems dickish. He doesn't have to do it at all. He's going to pay you $100 million. You keep the patent too. He's not buying it off. It's a prize. You dumb fuck. Guess what? You're going to get super rich if you come up with that level of carbon reclamation technology. He's going to pay you $100 million just if you come up with it. Then you're going to patent it, and it's going to be used all over the world. He doesn't need to give you all his goddamn money, stupid. He's using it for other stuff. What a dickish thing to say. But still, the richest person in the world's tweets brings attention to often overlooked technology that's been around since the 70s, but mostly been regulated. He's not the richest person in the world. Elon Musk, and this was true not in January, he wasn't the richest person in the world. Honestly, Maverick's tech CEO, I'll give you that, because some of his ideas are ridiculous. But he's not the richest person in the world. Piss off. I guess the legally richest person in the world, right? The richest person in the world that files his taxes with the United States government. Mr. Musk's announcement reflects a maturation in the private sector of climate change and investment. Julio Friedman, senior research fellow at Center on Global Energy Policy. Why not just plant more trees? Well, the word is just right there. Obviously, we have a lot more to do. So why not plant more trees? Well, people are. Why not just plant more trees? Because we need more stuff. I mean, obviously, a lot of articles you have to recognize, and this is true of morning television as well, and I think Wolf Blitzer I don't know if he's technically an anchor person. They don't really anchor. So as one of CNN's main commentaries over the years, he's the guy who asks the dumb question so you don't have to feel dumb because you had that question appear in your head. Why wouldn't you do this? Like those kind of moments. One popular reaction to Musk's tweet was that he would be better spent his money planting trees. Trees, like other plants, consume carbon dioxide in the process of photosynthesis release. There is an international initiative, wonky.org, which is 1 trillion trees by 2030 to mitigate climate change. The Trillion Trees campaign is run by the World Economics Forum and funded by the Mark B. Benioff Foundation, an eponymous philanthropic effort funded by the billionaire Salesforce CEO, who's a lunatic. And also, the reason they want this to be part of that is that, remember that even though you might want to help them plant those trillion trees, the people behind it are they don't believe in climate change. They don't believe humans play a part. And they also believe the solution is natural. So that means they are bad. That's this. 1t.org. There you go. But even 1t.org knows planting trees is not a silver bullet. Well, climate change isn't a werewolf. So I guess we're fine. Hi. Hell from Albany, New York. I think you mean hello, but I don't know. I've never been to Albany. You might mean hell. Are there any sane people in the world? Thanks, Wes. Come on, man. All right, I don't qualify. Plant fruit trees feed the hungry? Well, if they'll survive, fruit trees won't thrive in every climate. You have to plant a lot of different kinds of trees. There you go. Let's see. Said trees are part of the solution, require lots of fresh water and land. We may need something that's ultra large scale industrial in 10 to 20 years. I'm donating $100 million towards a prize for best carbon capture technology. And towards a prize, which means other people are joining in. It's a worldwide thing. There you go. Utilization storage sequestration, CCUS, which is often shortened to carbon capture technology. It's been around for a long time. So anyways, there you go. There's the device. It hooks up to the exhaust system at a factory and then just basically takes the carbon out. How much carbon dioxide can the United States store via geologic sequestration? All of it? You do realize we're mostly made out of carbon. There's carbon everywhere. Nature doesn't hate carbon by itself. Henry Ford made a car entirely of hemp. I missed that episode of Cheech and Chong. Let's see. Let's follow the link, shall we? Good morning. What are you guys drinking? I have iced coffee this morning. Just hopping on for an hour and change to gather with you guys, and it just takes effort. There's lots of effort going on. How much carbon dioxide can the United States store via geologic sequestration? In 2013, the U.S. Geological Society released the first ever comprehensive nationwide assessment of geological carbon sequestration, which estimates a mean storage of about 3,000 metric gigatons of carbon dioxide. The assessment is the first geologically based probabilistic assessment with a range of 2,400 to 3,700 metric gigatons. Metric gigatons! Marty, you're stuck here. All right, of potential carbon dioxide storage. In addition, the assessment is for the technically accessible potential, meaning the carbon dioxide can be successfully injected using today's engineering practices and techniques. Yeah, you can make a giant carbon filter in the earth for groundwater too. Hi. Good morning. Yes, climate change is not cool. Since it's getting hotter, I suppose that's true. That's putting CO2 in the bedrock. CO2 molecules are small and leak back into the atmosphere. Yeah, but they filter through the earth and that kind of stuff. And the earth does this all the time. What's the difference between... Oh, hi, Chud. Well, hello. Good morning. What's going on? My cat came in. Do you guys want to see Chud? Hi. Are you going to come over and say hi to me? Hold on. I'm all caught up. You're going to get caught up in my headphones. How are you? Oh, there she is. There she is, you know, big kitty. There's the Chud. How are you? What are you doing? Yeah, you're happy? Are you okay? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's some good scratches for the morning. Hi. Can you hear Chud purring? How are you this fine morning, Miss Chud? Did you go upstairs and see the poopy kitten? In case you weren't watching yesterday, we have a foster cat that we were looking after, a little kitten. He weighs about 2 pounds. He should be bigger, but he apparently had really bad diarrhea. Apparently, I mean, we all saw it. And then they gave him medicine, and that made him constipated. So we eased up on the medication, and now he can poop, but he also is farting a lot. Hi. Yeah, sweetie. You good this morning, Chad? Yeah. Hello, sweetheart. Good morning. Yeah. You're doing okay. You're doing... Yeah. You can't fall asleep. Oh, she's making biscuits on my arm. She's definitely making biscuits. She's going to cut into me. Yeah. Okay, here, hop down, kiddo. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. Is that good? Is that enough scratches? You okay? Oh, I'm covered in hair now. Look at the hair. Look at this. Look at that. That is some. Now I got to roll myself. Hang out. This is. Oh God. This is going to be a big to-do. Hold on. Hang on 1 second. I have to get the roller. Hi. Yeah, I know. I'm on camera. Cut me some slack. This is if I had an OnlyFans, this is what it would be. Just me cat rolling myself. Like, hi, how you doing? Somebody wants to pay me $25, I'll do my leg. Hello. Good morning. Yeah, she's going to go eat. Go slower. Do Bobcat. I can't do Bobcat. It freaks Chet out. She thinks I'm in pain. We're a hairy bunch where I live. Black Hat next time. We'll see. We had 50 tokens. Did they use tokens, Mike? Look, you've just outed yourself as somebody who knows more about OnlyFans than I do. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, I mean, to each their own. I have some friends who make a fine living. Just saying. I would love to support their pages and whatnot, but it'd be a little awkward, so I don't. But that's true. So anyways, U.S. Geological survey, folks. Let's see if I hit the trending tab. This is LA Trends. Star Trek Day. Coinbase reveals a Wells notice from the SEC saying the agency will bring an enforcement action if the exchange launches its lend product. A Wells notice? What? Coinbase got Wells notice from the SEC on its lend product. Okay, so it can't do loans based on cryptocurrency as a base because it's not recognized. Okay, that makes sense. Star Trek Day. Derek Jeter. All right. PW Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Why is that? Why would that be an LA thing? Okay, sports. Oh, iPhone 14. Is that what's coming? These like the graphics that always come up. Here's your very first look at the iPhone 14. Is that today? Is the you got to buy the upcoming 13 or 14 after the leak. MacRumors.com. No notch, no camera bump, titanium design, and more. Ooh, let's check out Mac Rumors, shall we? We're likely just 6 days away from Apple unveiling the iPhone 13 lineup at its confirmed September 14th event. Leaker John Bush shared his details about next year's iPhone 14 on his front page tech website. Yeah, so just so you know, what happens is there's technology that's necessary for advancements in any of this stuff, and so they might have a prototype or something, but it won't mass produce, so it takes them a year or so. And so what Apple and a lot of their companies do what's called the minimum viable product. Let's see if I can look that up. Minimum viable product that comes up whenever, yeah. So it's a development technique. This is how you get a new iPhone, even though there's no perfect iPhone. There never will be. There's no perfect calculator. There never will be. So what they do is they're like, this is the best thing we can put out now and actually have it work. This is the lowest rung of that, so that the next leap forward is actually a bigger leap. So instead of throwing, like, we've got all this stuff, let's all throw it in, they go, no, let's hold off some of the things so we can handle it a little better, right? Minimum viable product, or MVP, is a development technique in which a new product is introduced to market with basic features, but enough to get the attention of consumers. The final product is released in the market only after getting sufficient feedback from the product's initial users. It's also how stuff develops over the years. So there's no singular minimum viable product. It is a constant step forward to that. So yeah. So and people should know about this, by the way, i.e. vaporware. Not necessarily, because it has to exist before the other ones can exist. And what they do is they'll usually take a concept like the phone with the, you got 3 cameras on here. They had a 1, then 2 cameras, and then 3, and then they had the sensor that allows you to shoot infrared or, low light and all that kind of stuff, or 3D scan stuff, which is what this one can do. They had all these elements, the flash, the scanner, and each of these lenses, so that you could jump back and forth between these lenses or mix them in film and video. They had all these individual components, but getting them all to work in one phone was the trick. So they had these probably 10 years ago, but getting them to fit, not overheat, to have a processor that could handle all three of them at once, they couldn't do it. They could have thrown it all in there and watched everybody's phone overheat in about a year, and everybody would have been mad and they'd have been sued and all that. Or they could slowly but surely introduce technology that will, technically be, because you're basically, when you buy a new phone or a new laptop for that matter, with a new battery technology or something like that, you are going to get you are part of the R&D department of a phone company or a computer company. You will definitely end up, in terms of your phone. Let me see if I can, bring something up that kind of shows that. Look at the number of apps I have on this friggin' thing. All the stuff I do on my phone, it's just ridiculous. There are a couple of things I have on here that I don't use and I should. That's also one of the problems that you get when you have a, let's see, turn this up. Is the audio on this? I'll put it on, where would it be? In the office one? Studio. There you go. Is it working on there? Nope. Yeah, so they haven't updated this app in forever, and yet I still have it. It's the Diamond Dave one that I use sometimes with Nerd Halen, but it has to be on my phone at any given time. I also have like Telegram and Getter and all those stupid things, like in a little sequestered folder with a fake name in it. I also have a Venmo on my phone. I'm just saying, that's a thing. Good morning. How are you? So anyways, when they come up with a phone, or for example, the Pico Stream, which is something I use it is my favorite lavalier mic system. The first version of this, if you'll notice, see how like this, the microphone pops off. These things are amazing. The original version of this, the mic was longer, went all the way here. So they didn't change the receiver. They just made the transmitter smaller and more resilient, which is great. But it doesn't quite, there's a little gap. There's like empty space. So eventually they didn't want to shrink the screen. So instead of creating, making a bunch of new ones of these, or putting a lip on it so that it clicks in to keep it from sliding out, they just made them so they wouldn't necessarily go anywhere, and they're magnetic, right? Well, the first versions of these were the clip was shit. The mic is in that clip, and it broke. Like I went through 2 of those, and then they sold out because they caught on, and everybody bought the breakable ones, and then they finally came out with a version that doesn't break, and fewer people are buying them. If you're a documentarian or you're filming anything where you need interviews or any, for your channel or anything like that, there's 2 of these. They both go through the same audio source. They use a TRS, a tip ring sleeve cable, like a mic cable like that. See, it has 3 on there instead of 2 to go in there. They have a headset out, and you cannot charge it while you use it. That's something I would fix if I was them, right? The sound is amazing. This thing is maybe a year and a half old, and this is the 3rd version because a company this side couldn't afford to road test these things. So minimum viable product is what you're going to hear. The sound on those things is incredible. It's perfect. I'm constantly stunned. That's the one thing they didn't skimp on. And it's got built-in like gain and noise reduction, and I mean, it's great. Yeah, talk about Star Trek Day. Exactly. I should have wore a Star Trek shirt. Had I known, I would have. But so the rumors are the iPhone 14 is coming out. They're like, why would I buy the 13? Like, well, because the 14 might not be the size you like, or it might be a little weird, or it might be, you lock in. Basically, that what they also recognize is that people overlap in their choices. So people will get the 12 and then they'll get the 14, right? They're not going to get the one in between because your phone lasts longer. So why would you? How do I have a promo code we can use? No, I don't. I don't sell my pillows at all. Aw, somebody Venmo'd. That's really sweet. Who was that? It just came up. Hold on. Thank you, Heather. Love the morning stream. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. And thank you, Rebecca, for yesterday. That was awesome. And Denise did her first Venmo transaction ever. Took a picture of the screen and did the little QR code. It makes you feel like you're in the future. It really does. And Pamela Wilson, thank you as well. And Allboro Cash Realty LLC. Well, thank you for using your Venmo to send something. I appreciate that. And Linda, thank you so much. And Jill Keaton, thank you. These are from a couple of days ago. So there you go. And Raphael, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. And what beverage is everybody drinking? Did I even see? I can't use Venmo in Canada. I already tried. Oh, that's sad. Is that why people have Cash App set up? Is Cash App the one in? Because I noticed that a lot of people who use Venmo online as streamers also have Cash App. Never used Venmo. The rich side of my family does. I didn't realize you were related to Matt Gaetz. Iced coffee, chocolate milk. All right, Pepsi Max. Look at that. Which Linda? Shall I call you Linda? Hot tea, coffee's good. Chai tea. Oh, very, very schmancy. I did finally download Cash App too in case I need it. There you go. Instant breakfast. All right, there you go. Coke Zero. Mocha latte, which is one of my favorite lattes to say. Herbal honey, and there you go. Rose water. I have no idea what's in this glass. Right. Homemade chai. Ooh, some hippies in here, man. Third coffee. Holy smokes, Beth. How long have you been awake? Water, coffee, seltzer, lemon, coffee, and L-theanine. Very smart, Chris. Because if you take L-theanine with your caffeine, it takes some of the jitter out, and it makes the caffeine in it more effective. In theory. I am not your doctor. These are my responses to the morning trends, by the way. And look at this gathering of folks that surround this stuff. Look here. Look at this guy singing. People watching the show. That's lovely. Now let's go back to our trends today. Yellen. The debt limit. Yeah, that's the next fight. And they're going to raise the debt limit. That's a bunch of jerk around too. The Republicans are not going to want to shut down the government. They're not going to want to redo the Trump situation, especially after they signed off on the whatever $6 trillion worth of stuff last year. That's Meryl Streep and AIDS is trending. That's because the Don't Look Up thing. Why is AIDS trending? Oh, is this the re-up of... Meanwhile, outside a gay establishment in Seoul last night, the far-right homophobic radical Christians be like, what? And there you have it. Isn't Josh on TYT? Jimmy Kimmel says unvaccinated people shouldn't get ICU beds in his return to a late night show. Not people who can't afford it, people who are willfully not doing it. And then this is Josh. Who's Josh? Host of Left, Right, and Center. All right. Yeah. It's remarkable how thin the liberal commitment to universal health care becomes when liberal thinks the person who might need health care voted for Trump. Who gives a no? If somebody's vaccinated and voted for Trump, he's not saying they don't deserve an ICU bed in that situation. The interesting thing is that Josh Barrow thinks that only people who voted for Trump are unvaccinated. This is how a lot of people on the right talk about the AIDS crisis in the 80s, pointing to often very real behavioral risk factors, illness. The reason that was bad, right? There was no vaccine for AIDS. People didn't turn down the vaccine for it. People were protesting in the street to get access to medicines that would help them. It's exactly the opposite of what was happening. Morons, nothing but morons, and the morons in the morning just being all morons. Yeah, Derek, no one catches AIDS minding their own business, walking down the street. We know how people get it and how to avoid it. Maybe it's time to stop treating AIDS patients to save both money and beds. I mean, if this is going to be the new rule, what? Oh, see, this is the inversion of that very thing. No one catches AIDS minding their business, but they can get it from someone they didn't know had it, or the person didn't know they had it. There's no vaccine though, but PrEP is available and should be. That's definitely a leap forward. But an anti-PrEP gay activist, if they existed, whatever the fuck that would be, certainly would be in the category of someone like, I'm not taking PrEP. I'm raw dogging with everybody I could possibly see. But I mean, the overlay. Now we have an idiot. I'm going to call comedians as the arbiters of health. What about AIDS patients or patients with other communicable diseases? What about illegal aliens? What about illegal aliens? What about them? Again, you can't sneeze on someone and give them AIDS. Like we've fallen back into this. The WeSpa thing. Statement from The Guardian is wildly disingenuous. Each all of it doesn't address the fact that both Jules Gleason and Judith Butler offered to rewrite the question and answer to reflect the updated facts regarding the dereliction of duty. What is this? On September 7, 2021, The Guardian edited a Q&A with Judith Butler as one question posed by The Guardian failed to take account of new facts regarding the incident at WeSpa, which emerged last week after the interview took place and the piece was written. In light of those developments, the question regarding WeSpa and the interview should have been reviewed again to publications. This did not happen. This departure from our normal standards. We have not censored Judith Butler, but addressed a failure in our editorial standards. This particular question omitted the new details that came to light before and therefore risked misleading our readers. For that reason, we decided to remove both the question and her answer. Okay. Guardian remains committed to reporting on the rights of trans people in the U.S. globally, including worrying attacks on trans people and their allies by far-right groups. This is not, insofar as I know, again, the WeSpa thing is not about a trans person. It's about a man pretending to be trans, taking advantage of it. And he was a serial sex offender, right? Again, this is like saying that if you want to talk about Black Lives Matter, you must take Rachel Dolezal seriously. Or suggesting that the best way to understand Black Lives Matter is to watch Soul Man. You know what I'm saying? Does anybody understand where I'm going with this? Does that not register? Do people not get a grip that if a serial sex offender goes into the women's locker pretending to be trans or using trans as an excuse is not the fault or the responsibility of trans people. It has nothing to do with trans people. Any more than Rachel Dolezal should have a say in the NAACP or how we talk about the Tulsa race riots or any of that stuff. And why would black people be on the hook for the behaviors of Rachel Dolezal any more than trans people should be on the hook for people who take advantage of gaps in the law to enact, to commit sexual offenses under the guise of being trans when they are not. That is not the responsibility nor fault of trans people. There is some argument that it is the result of people who view themselves as trans allies being really slapdash in how they generate laws around it. Because it endangers trans people by undermining their genuine life experience in the public view by letting anyone claim to have their life experience at any time. But again, even within the context of that, even with the context of designing laws that protect trans people and make sure that people don't take advantage of laws meant to protect trans people for their own fetishist bullshit. Even with that existing, trans people are not responsible for that dude at all. Slapdash, never heard that before, or is it a phrase? It's a British phrase. It means just kind of thrown together, like without regard for consequence. So the spa scandal is worse than we thought. Liberal media's branding of this incident as a hoax was disgraceful. That was the Guardian talking about this. In this blog, the interview shows their proposed revision of the wording of the question, removing any reference to We Saw. They justify this because Butler didn't talk about We Saw. The Guardian, showing it does have a scrap of integrity left, refused, whatever. So that's what the We Spa thing is about. And again, so that's again these folks saying that even the activists against this are anti-trans activists when you've got a sexual predator using laws that are meant to protect trans people to carry out their own desires. Again, lays this at the feet of trans people. That is not fair. Trans people should not be responsible for people who take advantage of laws meant to protect trans people any more than if we found out Rachel Dolezal got a scholarship to university pretending to be black is black people's responsibility. This part of it always I don't know why people don't put this together. So, anyways. The Theranos is the documentary on her is up. Erica Chung wasn't wrong to think she was being followed by private investigators hired by Theranos. Yeah, this is a pretty crazy story. Elizabeth Holmes, once named the world's youngest self-made billionaire, Holmes faces up to 20 years in prison for duping financiers, customers, and patients, saying she'd revolutionized blood testing. It was a total lie. It was thievery. Well, thank you for becoming a Patreon. I know this is one of the few places where you can actually get this kind of information without sort of, derogatory shitstorms being flung at people for no particular reason. What happened to Jack Ma? Tech giant has been sidelined. That's a sweet name for it. After he ignored the first rule of business in China, there's only one decider, Xi Jinping. Sidelined. He hasn't been seen. And again, this is fascinating to me. Are you a billionaire if you cannot leave the country with your money? Like, honey, you're rich in the house, but the minute you step outside, you're the poorest son of a bitch in the world, and you can be jailed. Talk about a spike and fall. If you want to, and here's my theory. For those of you that don't know, Jack Ma is the guy behind Alibaba, which is basically where all the drop shipment millionaires in the United States have made their money, using Alibaba and stuff sold in China and drop shipping it through Amazon to the country. And that's part of the whole, we've got a trade deficit, but then you've got a bunch of millionaires in the United States and like families making their livings drop shipping through. If you don't believe me, just go look up Amazon drop shipping tutorials on YouTube. It's endless. But Jack Ma was the guy who started Alibaba and was the big, push behind that. And he was, he's huge billionaire in China. When I was doing my travel show, there was some talk about, wow, maybe we could meet Jack Ma, right? During this thing. I did meet another, what would be tech millionaire, not quite a billionaire, in China that we were interviewing about what they were doing in this really cool house/library/office building that he had. Really cool looking. Loneliest person I have ever met. No friends. Couldn't even afford to make friends because everybody was trying to scam him, or he didn't know who was a government spy. It was terrible. And so Jack Ma is in the worst part of this, that right now, in China, there's a thing called lie flat. Do you guys know about lie flat? Anybody know what this is? It's basically a generation of kids giving up on being here. I'll see if I can. Let me open up another page here for a second. That it's, let's see, here we go. There we go. Lie flat in China. It's the youth of China. It's called Tangping. Let's see. There's a try and find it. It's a good example of. Hey, this is Insider talking about it. This is about Chinese 20-somethings. Whoops. More and more Chinese 20-somethings are rejecting the rat race and lying flat after watching their friends work themselves to death. So there's a thing in China called Jojo Liu 996, which means you work 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. And you're expected to do Jojo Liu. Or some people do Jojo Wu, which means 5 days a week. You're working 9 to 9. So that you do another job. Oh, thank you very much. Hold on, whoops. Thanks, Nicholas and Deanne and Ann. Thank you guys so much for the Venmos. Appreciate that. So lie flat has become a thing, and the Chinese government is shutting down entire websites and knocking. Oh, there you go. Yeah, lying flat rejects the 996 culture that encourages people to work 12 hours, 6 days a week. Only by lying down can humans become the measure of all things, argues the Lying Flat Manifesto. So they're basically just opting out of the rat race in China. And people are blaming Western culture for this. They're blaming America for undermining them. This is in the same news stories where they're saying that COVID was created in a U.S. lab. That was their hit back against Trump. But I would argue that this is one of the primary reasons that lie flat is happening. Because why would you 996? And I got, I qualify. I work 996 a lot of the time about my stuff, right? And that's on shows on days where I don't have live shows at night where I would work, 12, 12, 6 or 3 or something. 9, 9, 4, 12, 12, 3, something like that. So I would argue that the failure of 996 is not because kids are giving up the rat race in China. They would gladly join the rat race if it would pay off. But when you start jailing, their film stars and guys like Jack Ma disappear, that's what will undercut that. Thank you. Thanks, guys. So is lying flat like planking? No, it is not. That would require work. They literally mean just lay in bed all the time. Here, I'll show you. Back up. This is the Brookings. Here you go. This is that's the picture. An illustration of lying flat phenomenon appears on the Q&A platform Zhihu in early May 2021. Crying, smoking, drinking. That's what they're talking about. So is Hal in the AM going to be a regular thing? It is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I work out in the mornings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is what they mean by lying flat. Chinese leaders have staked the country's future. Have staked the country's future on innovation. In its latest blueprint for national economic development, China has pledged to end its reliance on imported technology and to focus on domestic consumption as the primary driver of growth. This is largely because they have, I think it's now 6 AI machines online, and they are counting on, instead of stealing American and European technology, they're going to have the AI tech come up with. Yeah, there you go. What China's plan is to have AI come up with all the new inventions, and then they'll just make it. That's the theory. It's not going to work out. Nah. Anybody who's seen any of those things about like AI writing poetry or movie screenplays based on old movies, yeah, it's not there yet. They're counting on AI to be their R&D. This is where new AI research comes from. How many papers are published in each country annually? That's copy and paste. Don't get too carried away. Everybody's going down, by the way. It's the same trend downward because of COVID. There's COVID right there. And at a certain point, you've written enough about it, and AI is starting to take off. They've launched it, so AI is writing its own papers. But this is, I would say, the disappearance of Jack Ma and the control of Chinese million and billionaires is the reason for lie flat, not because the youth have become lazy. Why would you work that hard and kick your own ass every single day? This is an illustration making the rounds on China's internet. It says, you want me to get up? Not possible in this lifetime. The social cost of innovation, consumer remorse. Yeah, they just buy too much shit and now they're not happy with it. Yeah. Lying flatism is a thing. Don't buy property, don't buy a car, don't get married, don't have children, and don't consume is what they're up against. And they think this is because of the United States. They think this is America messing with them. The CCP, in their paranoia, believes that the U.S. gives a shit. We don't. This is their own doing. So, there you go. Thanks so much, Rebecca, for the Venmo. Appreciate that. Thanks, James. Thanks, Nicholas. Thanks, Deanne. You just point your phone at that, and then you can give to the show. It's fun. But anyway, so that story, this is the missing context from the Wall Street Journal story, I have no doubt. There's a bunch of that going around. And hey, Bob Odenkirk's back at Better Call Saul. He's after his heart attack. We're very happy. We love you, Bob. Stay healthy. Hey, look, it's me. Look, I'm trending. My own trending is trending. I'm trending myself. Joaquin Phoenix and Olivia Munn's having a baby with John Mulaney. Good for them. One of these days, I'll tell you guys my Olivia Munn story. Roxanne. Baba June passed away this morning. He lived every day trying to make the world a better place, fighting against the very there we scrap my soul. I wait to see him again. Roxanne, huh? I don't know. Idaho. Public health leaders have activated crisis standard of care for the state's northern hospitals because there are more coronavirus patients than the institutes can handle. Iowa has one of the lowest vaccination rates in the United States. What a shock. We're all just, aren't we all amazed? Idaho. God. This is the same Idaho, by the way, that wants to claim parts of eastern Oregon for, Idahoistan, which sounds weird. Guessing Olivia Munn has lots of crazy stories. Mm-hmm. My tresses are trending. It's my hair, isn't it? Yeah. Idaho hospitals begin rationing healthcare amid COVID surge. Sarah Palin warned us about death panels. Boise. Idaho public health leaders announced Tuesday that they activated crisis standards of care, allowing healthcare rationing for the state's northern hospitals because there are more coronavirus patients than the institutions can handle. The Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, which is Idaho, which is what I will be calling it, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare. Idaho. Quietly enacted the move. Oh, quietly? Really? They didn't jump all over it and make a big story out of it? Why would that be? Enacted the move Monday and publicly announced in a statement Tuesday morning, warning residents that they may not get the care they would normally expect if they need to be hospitalized. That's okay. These folks are resilient people of the land. They don't need to go to the thing and worry about the stuff and do the thing. I mean, come on. with the people and the things. Silly, silly people. Hold on, I got to reload my player on. Thanks, Narg, for getting ad time user bits, and Stargal, thank you so much. Appreciate that as well. And Audio Girl Jen, thanks for cheering 500 bits on Twitch. Thanks so much. And Ninka Crinkles, thanks for the gift subs. Appreciate that. And Moms is hosting. You can host and raid the show. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all good. We're hanging out. This is a morning thing. I obviously started a little after 9. It's a little after 10. What do you think? We're going to 11? Is that this one goes to 11. This show goes to 11. I've got to turn this up. The unfolding crush of patients to Idaho hospitals has been anticipated with dread by the state's healthcare providers. Yeah, but I mean, what do they know? All redemptions used. Thanks, fam. Yes, absolutely. Thanks. And good morning, Can't Stop Lying. How you doing, man? Loss of hope. Idaho hospitals crushed by COVID-19 surge. Hospital ICU beds are filling up in some states. Percentage of ICU beds reported in use. Let's see. Idaho, 95% of ICU beds are being used. Nevada, 82. California, 78. Arizona, 64%, because they got a lot of old people there, so they have retirement communities and stuff that have their own medical facilities in case somebody gets, messed up and need to be quarantined. They got plenty of oxygen there. New Mexico is a problem. Oh, look at Texas, 95.1%. Hey, 91%. Florida. Georgia, 95%. South Carolina, looks like Kentucky's at 89%. Tennessee's at 78%, or 72%? 78%, 78.2%. Illinois doing a good job there at 67.9%. Pennsylvania, 79%. New York, 67.8%. Those blue run states, you know what I'm saying? Washington's at 79%. Oregon, 77.6%. And here, look at there, Idaho, 95%. Montana's doing all right. Wyoming's got plenty of beds. South Dakota, North Dakota, they got plenty of beds because they sent everybody else's. Sturgis folks spread all over the place. Went back to Idaho. 76%. There we go. And of course, Hawaii is screwed. 724% capacity. No wonder people are getting turned away. Jesus Christ. Alaska's 78% because they're isolated too. Once you're isolated, you can't add on the way other ones can. Holy hell. Just terrible. Why all hybrid workers should be using standing desks? No. Vacillating between hybrid ones and like a raising desk and a lowering desk is better. Let's go back to our trends, and then we will. Joaquin Phoenix is still there. He's probably in the movie that we keep seeing trending. We spot Butler, AIDS, Idaho. Jessica Chastain and petting Oscar Isaac's hand or something, right? That's the thing. I don't care. It's a viral moment. Hey, look at that. There's me. It's my Streamlabs page. That's cool. And my daily. Oh, I see. This is me. I love when it recommends me to me. This is something I brought up yesterday. If ivermectin is a wonder drug, why take anything else, Joe Rogan? And this goes for Alex Jones as well. If ivermectin's the shit, why are you getting anything else? How dare you, as a matter of fact? Lynette, yes, I don't vacation in Hawaii right now, even if you're vaccinated. Give it a break. Let them recover. Yeah, so if ivermectin is so amazing, why did Joe Rogan, quote, throw the kitchen sink at it? And that was his quote. They did everything. He did monoclonal antibodies. He did all the stuff. So if ivermectin works, why take anything else, right? I still can't figure that out. And then somebody responded to it with, how have you seen this? A study on the using of human formulation of ivermectin resulted in reduced fertility for 85% of men treated. I think we finally found the pill for men. Apparently it makes you hung like a horse, but you shoot blanks. Ladies, calm. Effects of ivermectin therapy on sperm functions of Nigerian onchocerciasis. Yeah, I think this might be why. The effect of this was one of the onchocerciasis, out of which 37%, 9.6 were eligible for further tests, as their sperm counts were normal, while remaining patients had very low sperm counts and were therefore not used for further tests. We therefore investigated the effects of ivermectin therapy on sperm functions. These eligible 37 diagnosed patients of onchocerciasis, who were ages 28 to 57. The sperm functions were assessed via seminal fluid analysis using standard procedure following parameters: sperm count, sperm motility, morphology, volume, viscosity, liquefaction time. The above parameters were measured before and after patients were treated with 150 kg per body weight of ivermectin for 11 months. Results were compared also with normal control reference range, and it wasn't good. Yeah. Scroll down here. Where is their conclusions? This decision for normal fertilization to occur, sperm function need to meet a minimum required sperm function capacity shown in the table, which is normal control of the study, resulting evident that ivermectin therapy has significant adverse effects on the functions of male onchocerciasis patients. Onchocerciasis? There was a significant reduction or drop in the sperm counts of patients after the treatment with ivermectin. Furthermore, the study showed a significant and remarkable drop in the sperm motility of the patients after the treatment with ivermectin. As for the morphology of the sperm, there was a rise in abnormal sperm after treatment compared with the morphology of the commencement of treatment. These changes, no doubt, are the results of the effects of the drug on the sperm function of the patients. There you go. Yep, grabbing that. Then how do we do this? We pop open this page. We drag this up there. We do what's called a crop. This is how I do some of the, leave in some of the details of the paper itself. Pull this down to the necessary chunks so that it's viewable on Twitter. We will hit crop and done, and then we go back into Twitter and we add that to the thing, and I'll punch that in later when I load that. So we go in here, quote tweet, and then let's see if I'll just grab this guy right here, click on screenshots, take this guy in here, boop, and then oops. Oh, goops. That's funny. I'm not trying to. There you go. Ta-da! Every sperm is sacred. Every sperm. Yes, there's no need to invoke Gwyneth. By the way, is goop still a thing? Do we look it up? Hold on. It is. Let's see what are our new beauty obsessions for September. She's gorgeous. Apparently ear cuffs are back. I wore these in high school during my breakdancing phase, but that's nice. Food, home, wellness, style, travel. I'm worried about the wellness part. We'll go to food and home. I love summer when it's simple. These are no makeup days. I love summer because she's my girlfriend. So that we have something in common. That's good. Breakfast recipes, lunch recipes, dinner recipes, snacks. This is what concerns me. A goop snack. What's a goop snack? Air fryer French fries, super seedy apple rings. That is just a tooth chipper right there. Air fryer root veggie fries. Someone's getting carried away with their air fryer, clearly. Cauliflower nuggets, which sounds like a disease. Hal breakdances. Yeah. I mean, come on. We know how she makes you blush. It's true. All right. Simmer down. Am I going to have a hair care stream? It's true. I'll do my own version of Goop. Vegan queso. Bread and butter style pickles with turmeric. All right, sure. Spicy pickles with chili and fennel. These people have a lot of free time. People who have time to pickle, bless your hearts. By the way, I believe the greatest Portlandia sketch ever is, of course, We Can Pickle That. Period. End of story. There's a lot of great ones. I love that show, but pickle that. Yeah. So see, they do this like you should air fry everything, and then they sell crock pots and air fryers and stuff. Vegan Caesar dressing. That's a good idea. Metabolism boosting chocolate strawberry pudding smoothie. Gut biome blueberry chia and coconut kefir smoothie. They sell their own stuff. See, and I thought this was just her trying to help people with health, and it's really just her version of like the Alex Jones leadified dick pills. Hold on, this is not right. Hold on one second. Try to. It's gonna be hard with this. All right, thank you very much. I was called out, and I'm passing it off to you. So, just saying. Just, come on now. Yeah, that'll be a clip. That'll be a shareable clip. What the hell? Why is Hal breakdancing to Goop? It will be such a weird sideline. Yeah, that's me breakdancing without any space. Like I got very little. Like there's my green screen. I can tap it. So, how I'm stressed about Trump running again? Don't be. Oh, please don't be. Please. Okay, I'll end today eliminating your stress about Trump running again. Give me 1 second to pull up. Let's see. See if they put this. Maybe it's this week in the last week. That's the Hill. Let me find it. Trials of the World, David Mirror, ABC News. When is this? I have to find it. I have to find the interview because they only put up clips of it because he's such a fucking mess. It's yeah. Okay. So here's the full measure. They had to cut the shit out of this video because Trump was such a mess. Yeah, there it is. Apparently, let me do this. This is super good. I'll see if CSL and I will try and hunt this down, the whole interview with Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson. This is just, first of all, what's going on here is gross. The body language, it's just awful. But they only put this out in 1 minute. This is a minute 8 seconds long, this clip. They could only afford to put out minute-long clips of him without him looking like an asshole or getting them in legal problems, apparently.
The Supreme Court let stand a Texas pro-life law that bans abortions when a heartbeat can be detected so as early as 6 weeks.
No, it doesn't. They let stand a law that allows people to snitch on people for that.
Say this could lead to wider restrictions on abortion.
And the end of the death penalty, and anyone who uses a gun to protect themselves in a self-defense shooting can go to jail because all guns are abortion machines. All gun shops are abortion providers. Because that person would have lived longer if you hadn't shot them in the face.
Both sides seem to agree that this ruling is largely your doing based on the Supreme Court picks that you made. Do you agree with the ruling? By
the way, 20 seconds. We got 20 seconds of that is eaten up with the question.
Well, I will tell you this. We do have a Supreme Court that's a lot different than it was before. It was acting very strangely, and I think probably not in the interests of our country.
Okay, first of all, looks like shit. Bagged out. The cotton candy is out of control. Look at this. Look at the fluffernutter that's going on in this situation. Straight up rat's nest. Just woke up. And what was that gibberish? We had a Supreme Court that was acting strangely. Do not be worried about this idiot running in a couple of years. Please.
I'm studying it right now.
This is new. This is September 6th is when they posted this. This is just a couple days ago.
I know that the ruling was very complex and also probably temporary. I think other things will happen, and that will be the big deal in the big picture. So we'll see what would happen. But we're studying the ruling, and we're studying also what they've done in Texas. But we have great confidence in the governor and the attorney general and the lieutenant governor. There are a lot of great people in Texas. And
by the way, he is on a bullet train to Pat Robertson right now. I'm not kidding. Hold on one second. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, let's do what's a recent Pat Robertson clip? You'll see what I mean. Here's a.
I want to say it's time for the president to speak. He should have spoken about it earlier. I know he was so taken and enthralled by that Elon Musk space exploration rocket, that SpaceX. It was an incredible event for the nation. But
all right, back up.
Big picture. So we'll see what would happen. But we're studying the ruling, and we're studying also what they've done in Texas. But we have great confidence in the governor and the attorney general and the lieutenant governor. There are a lot of great people in Texas, and we have a lot of fans and a lot of support in Texas. So we'll be announcing something over the next week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, week or 2 weeks. Where we haven't heard that before. That's as much as they could get out of that shit. This is the de facto leader and the bestest guy ever for the Republican Party. And you could only squeeze 40 seconds? What, 44 seconds of stuff out of it? And there's, this is from this thing or whatever. This one's a minute long. This one's a minute 9 seconds. This is a minute. And this is 42 seconds. This is from yesterday, a day ago. Trump discusses Afghanistan. Discusses Afghanistan. 59-second long clip. He's discussing it.
The Afghanistan war is over?
I don't know, because you have people going all over the world and being dropped all over the world right now, and nobody knows who the hell they are, Cheryl. These aren't the interpreters that we talked. These were people that rushed into the planes. And they were so interested in trying to make it sound like, oh, they're doing a good job. These people, many of these people are going to be terrorists, okay? They're going
when they grow up, especially the wives of the interpreters. We don't know who these people are. They're being dropped all over the world. If they're going to be terrorists, it's just in their blood. You know, Afghans who would want to escape the Taliban, I mean, they're going to be terrorists. How could they not? No one knows what he's talking about. This is bullshit. It's Ask Grabistan. Yes. She's about to find out what it's like to be behind enemy lines in Ask Grabistan. This poor woman reporter, what's her name? Cheryl Atkinson? Please, do not worry about him running in a couple of years.
Be terrorists. They were very powerful. They were very energetic in getting onto the aircraft.
Yeah, they were trying to escape being murdered, you dumb fuck. They were very powerful and energetic. Listen.
They say they're betting them.
Oh, hold on. Wait. They were very powerful and energetic.
Terrorists, okay? They're going to be terrorists. They were very powerful. They were very energetic in getting onto the aircraft.
You mean they were scrambling not to die in a country being taken over by the Taliban? I mean, that sounds like a terrorist to me. Jesus Christ.
Say they're betting them very carefully with biometrics and documentation.
They're not doing that. And you can't, because there is no documentation in that country. There's virtually no documentation.
What? There's virtually no documentation. So these people were they even interpreting? I mean, we don't speak the language. How do we know they were saying what people were really saying? How do we know our interpreters weren't fucking with us for 20 years? What's he saying? He says you should go down this path and he says it's totally safe. What the fuck are you talking about?
They didn't vet him. They didn't even try to vet him. They're trying to vet him now, but it's a little bit late. They're dropping him.
They're trying to vet them now. It's a little late. They're already in Germany.
All over the world, and most of them will be coming to the United States.
That's where they cut it off. They're going to bring in these terrorists. You're going to go to a market. They're going to tell you all the wrong items. We don't know who these people are. We don't know what they're doing. This is the big. I mean, I'm dead serious. This is the right-wing talking point. And they've all got it from him. And so
on coronavirus.
This is, by the way, on COVID. Full measure. Trump discusses COVID and vaccine boosters. He discusses it. He's going to, guy. It's a discussion. He's discussing it. It's 41 seconds, and they call it a discussion. It's a short discussion.
On coronavirus, you've had coronavirus. You've also had the vaccines. Do you anticipate getting the booster if that becomes available and recommended?
I don't think so. I mean,
He's expecting his syphilis to kick COVID's ass.
I don't think so. I really feel I'm in pretty good shape with respect to that, but let's see what happens. If I feel it's good, if I feel it's necessary, I would get it. I'm very proud of what we did on the vaccines. I did the vaccines in a short period of time, less than 9 months.
And do you blame him?
Oh, wait a second. 41 seconds, and you couldn't not have an edit? Look at this jump, kids. Fucking hell. Again, let me remind you, this is a clip they put out 41 seconds long. Watch the edit. He's talking when they cut away. When they cut to her, he's still yammering. So what he rambled some shit and they cut it out. Watch this.
Vaccines in a short period of time, less than 9 months.
And do you blame him for the...
See that? And she goes, do you blame that? They tried to find a moment to scissor it in, but there's a jump. Look at that.
Vaccines in a short period of time, less than 9 months.
And do you blame him?
See, he said, and they cut it right in the middle of the and.
The vaccines in a short period of time, less than 9 months.
And do you blame him?
Did you see that? It's garbage. They had to do a junk edit in a 41-second clip.
the vaccines in a short period of time, less than 9 months. And
Do you blame him for the fact that it's raging again, or
well,
was
I
that
blame
something?
him. Yeah, I blame him for the fact that the
Gee, you had to jump again. Blame him, by the way. By him, of course, he means Justin Trudeau, I guess.
vaccine is not being taken to the levels that it should because the people don't trust him.
Yeah, that's why. That's why they don't trust him. I guess we're supposed to assume it's Biden and not Fauci, or Fauci and not Biden. They just didn't bother. They want you to pick whichever one is your target. The reason why they left that out of their 41-second clip, is there any reason why they wouldn't add Biden's name or Fauci's? Because she obviously mentioned it. They referenced it with a pronoun. Is there a reason why Cheryl Atkinson, which sounds like you're like someone's, like Kiss Online has their Twitter, that used to be their Twitter feed was at Kiss Online. Then they finally got Kiss back from Twitter, which I thought was best. She mentions either Biden or Fauci. They cut it off so she goes to the pronoun, and they edited it out because they couldn't show his gibberish. Yes, full measure. You can't even do a full fucking clip. That's amazing to me.
Do you blame him for the fact that it's raging again, or
Well,
was
I
that
blame
something?
him. Yeah, I blame him for the fact that the vaccine is not being taken to the levels that it should because the
Because people what? Because people don't trust Operation Fart Steed.
Captain's log.
people don't trust him.
Not familiar with Full Measure. Does it have political leanings? Oh, it certainly does. Oh, you don't think he's actually being interviewed by people that aren't on the team, do you? That's the other thing. He's not doing interviews with people unless they will carry his balls. Yes, this is Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson. Carol Atkinson to measure. She's on the phone and walking. She's in D.C. behind the swamp. Oh, yes. Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson. She's targeting the Washington Monument because it's a phallus. Kind of pointy. Then a tunnel that doesn't mean anything. Pictures of butts and then her face. Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson. That's what we get? You just played her opening credits? What do you think? Chuck Norris, full interview 4 years ago. The Making of Green Beret. 2 years ago, Full Measure, the vaccination debate. Oh, it's a debate, is it? Is it a debate? It's debate, is it? I see. And this, in her videos, 3 interviews of him and then the whole show. Cover story. Sex trafficking. What's this one? Empty. Let's just grab one. Empty shelves. It's full.
Christine Gutlebenbeck.
Wait, hold on a second. Who the fuck chucked that baby in? Listen to this at the top of this. Listen to the baby fly into screen. Woo. Just chucking that baby. Where do you think you are? Kabul? Shit.
Christine Gutlebenbecker is a businesswoman and mom
Christine the Gutlebenbecker.
3. And
And a fitness expert. She drinks tart cherry juice every morning. She's got shit ton. She does whippets. She's hold on, back the fuck up. I want to see what's in her fridge.
Gutlebenbecker is a businesswoman and mom of 3.
Who has a camera crew in her refrigerator. There is no Dana, only Zool. What a lovely singing for you. Zool. She's got tart cherry. She's got jalapeno Slims, chili sauce. Husband's a weightlifter.
And like a lot of American shoppers, she's gotten used to not finding everything she wants at the grocery store anymore.
In some ways, shopping feels like an experiment.
This week, we look into what's behind those empty shelves across America.
China. Apparently somebody threw Xi Jinping in.
Years, Intel officials and members of both parties have warned that China is America's most serious global threat.
It's been reported that China has conducted tests on soldiers to develop soldiers with some kind of enhanced biological capabilities.
Let me be clear. It's that they literally want to create super soldiers and...
Yeah. Talk about like huffing the smoke and licking the mirrors. Yeah, good luck with that. They've got the CRISPR-Cas9 dude experimenting on, the 2 girls that can't get AIDS. That whole deal. Yeah. These guys look like super soldiers. I would be totally afraid. They don't. This isn't a bunch of 15-year-olds with empty guns.
Almost like the superhuman race.
This week, one congressman raises some...
Basically, China are the Nazis. So that should answer whether there's a quote-unquote political slant. There's also, for the record, an extraordinarily shitty quality of production, considering wherever this studio is. Does she ever get back? I guess they do. Do they get... The following content has been identified by YouTube as inappropriate or offensive to some audience. Oh, I understand.
Ashley.
Oh, they're covering the Ashley Babbitt story.
At.
And all rely on similar semiconductors used in computer chips.
You look at a lot of the things that we went out and bought during the pandemic. Some people had to buy a new computer for work because they had to work remotely. Had to buy a webcam, right? I had a lot of challenges.
I had to start my OnlyFans. Drink your kefir and shut the fuck up. Get your shot, Ashley Babbitt did. You guys, thank you so much for becoming a patron. Yeah, we got new patrons. We got some people doing Venmo. It's just lovely morning. I'm going to let you guys go. I've got 2 minutes left, so we'll just wrap it up talking to the chat for a moment. A 4'8" super soldier, yes. 588 people just in the morning chat. What a surprise. What a lovely thing. Buy a webcam, the horror. Yeah, used up all the chips. We got no chips. The chips, you can't get a new car because of all the chips. Yeah. What was the what were you saying, Rob, about the chip shortage? Is that what we're talking about? Did Chud leave so you can do Bobcat? I think so. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me and watching me breakdance. I'm really good at it, I just need some mousse for my hair. It's too early for that, for a lot of people. I think I just scared a bunch of people. How's my favorite Hades ballad? Thanks. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you just hopping in here in these last couple minutes. I will be back this afternoon at the regular time at 3 o'clock, and then I will do a morning show like this on Friday morning. I may be completely bagged out since I'm going to the KISS show Thursday night, and I will be exhausted upon my return. My mic doesn't like it. You don't think so? Chud hates Bobcat. She doesn't hate it. She just thinks she likes when I sing as well. She just thinks I'm in pain. Because if I walk around the kitchen in my house going, when the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay, like that, my cat goes, ow, 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 and she thinks I'm hurting. She doesn't know the lyrics, so. And I'm like, no, that's not a sad song. That's a sweet song. Yeah. Ooh, I wanna be there. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, that's morning voice with no warm up. Thanks very much. Pow. So singing, breakdancing, coffee, silliness, medical information that's verifiable and logical, good political jokes, and I've eliminated your fear that Trump is going to run for office again. I mean, what more could you want? My voice was cutting out. Did I blow out my vocal thing? Do I have to sing away from the microphone? Yeah, I overmodulated and it clicked into the All right, I'll figure that out next time. I'm gonna have a second one. Yeah. Yes, and this is my birthday month. That's true. September 25th is my birthday. I will be in Washington, D.C. on my birthday this year with my girl. We were supposed to go to the inauguration. We obviously couldn't go, so we couldn't get our refund on our hotel, so we punted. So we're going to be in D.C. for 4 days. Mike was clipping, maybe because I'm loud as. So I will be doing the show, my Saturday show and my afternoon shows, my regular shows from DC. Living Munn story is what more we want. I see. No, not today. It's a very personal story. Yeah. So anyways, much love and congratulations to her and her husband. I'm glad that they're having a baby. That's awesome. Yeah. Am I staying for the next insurrection? Yes, I'll be there. Yeah, I'm going to stick around. It'll be after the second insurrection. So I'm basically bringing a mop. Yeah. Trump Hotel. No, we're not staying at the Trump Hotel. Although I am tempted to go there and bring my phone and have a beverage in the lobby bar or whatever it is and see what kind of skanky Trumpites are wandering around. See if we have a Steve Bannon sighting or any of that shit. Right? But I don't want to give him my money. That's always the... Can we see the new kitten? Yes. Hold on one second. I have to run upstairs and get him, though. Give me a second. Hold on. I will do this. I have an intermission thing. Talk amongst yourselves while I go grab... I'll be back with a kitten in just a moment. What's going on? And Chip is back. Here he is. Ran upstairs to get him. Here he is. There he is. There he is, little guy. You okay? Is he poopy? Are you poopy? He's got problems, but we're healing him. Oh, he's a little guy. Are you a little guy? You okay? Whoa. Yes, I know you're farting. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. You're okay. Yes, you're fine. This is a new place. Do you want to run around? Is that what's happening? Yeah? Well, it's okay. Well, I'm going to take him back upstairs. He was sleeping, so he probably needs to rest. But I will see you guys later on. Okay. Bye, everybody. See you later. Say bye. Say bye. Say bye. There you go.